afternoon. My name is Troy Reiner with AGT. We helped install the current system that we're about to review. The first part of what we're going to be showing will be simple operation for the observer. We will then go into a second part at a later time for a more in-depth troubleshooting, deeper level. But again, to start with, the idea for this particular room is you have the three certain training stations. Has been described as observation A, B, and C stations. So what we will show today is literally station C. So the current machine that we're using, we're going to call this laptop the admin laptop. It will reside in the room over on the credenza behind me, but this will not be the normal operating station. That will be installed at a later date, but it works the same way. Once the machine is on, it is simply choosing what you want to listen to. And what I mean by that is the purpose of this recording station is to record what is taking place in the actual room. You can choose which room you want to start the recording on, whether it's a classroom or, more importantly for what we're doing here, the Guard X rooms, the A, B, and C. So if on this page, at this particular station, if you choose the Guard C, it then brings up a simple page that kind of describes what you need to do, but at the same time it's very simple. If you want to record an interview that's taking place in the room, then you would record using the ceiling mic. If you want to record a conversation that takes place on the telephone, then you would record using the phone mic. Just that simple. Once you make the selection of what you want to record, by simply hitting the record button, you have started recording whatever is taking place in that room at this time. So again, you've got the visual representation of what's being recorded. You know whether it's the phone mic or the ceiling mic. Once you have finished whatever operation is taking place, just simply hit stop. So we'll come back to that in a second, but again, you can simply see that it changed. Another visual cue that's been installed here is that if we hit the record, and for whatever reason, if you leave this page and go back to the main page, you actually have the visual cue of a room that's being recorded as well. So again, you could have multiple rooms being recorded simultaneously. For whatever reason, if you need to hit the stop recordings, make sure you pay attention to say stop all recordings. Because if this button is hit, it will stop all recordings. This is not an individual room that you're controlling. You're controlling all the rooms at this point. So as an observer, you're going to want to stay in the room that you are basically assigned to at this point for recording. The moment you hit the stop button, a digital dump of that file has taken place. It has literally been transmitted over to a server that the admin will have access to for later playback, storage, recordings, whatnot. But again, that immediately happens as soon as you hit the stop button. So as often as you hit the stop button, it is creating a file on the server for everything that was recorded during that particular session. So you've got a couple of options to look at as far as live viewing. There are some other screens that will pop up that you have access to for the actual stream. This is the room itself. You have the ability to preview what's going on in the room. You don't necessarily have to record what's going on in the room. It has simple functions of play, pause, stop. Each camera has its own view. That goes for classrooms as well. This particular phone basically has presets to call room C. So it actually already has a hotkey to call Guard XC. So the moment I hit this button, it's literally ringing into that room. Vice versa, if I'm sitting in that room and I hit station C, this phone will ring. So it's a one-to-one hotkey preset. Now, the key to remember, this is the recording device. This is the audio piece that strips the audio from the telephone for the recording. So again, to say that again, this is how we get the audio of the phone call into the recording system. So real easy to remember. The buttons on here, we just made it simple. Everything goes far clockwise, and you want it to have handset. So I have the ability to go line in, I have the ability to go handset. So as long as we are clockwise, full, and handset, you will record what is taking place on this handset itself. The reason I'm making this a big deal is that this is recording the handset and not recording the speakerphone at this station. That's kind of a key element to remember for the observer. In the room itself, they can have the speakerphone on, they can talk via the handset, they can do whatever they want as the GuardX room themselves. Here in this particular space, it can only be recorded via the handset. Now at a later time, if you guys want to add a different type of handset that's actually headset with microphone, that's acceptable. It just simply plugs into this port that actually says handset. So again, this can be replaced, this cannot be replaced. The elements that we installed certainly are the telephone. We certainly have a camera in each of the GuardX rooms as well. The camera, once you guys actually get furniture set up in place, has the ability to zoom in, tilt, pan, whatever you need to do to make sure that you capture the space that you want to capture. Each of the GuardX rooms has a ceiling microphone. In this particular case, this is the occupancy sensor, and believe it or not, what looks like the smoke detector is the microphone. So again, those just kind of aesthetically fit nice into the ceiling. So again, as a interviewer, I have the ability to call the observation desk with a simple touch of the button. Again, just calling station C. As you can hear, it's ringing into the observation room at this moment. So again, as the interviewer, I have the ability to use the handset or the speakerphone, and things will be recorded as long as the phone option has been chosen as the observer. So again, very simple, no confusion, no extra parts here that they need to worry about so that they can focus on what they are trying to do with their script. You do have the ability to individually record the classrooms, and each of the classrooms have a front-facing and a rear-facing camera. So again, you can either record both of them or one at a time.
So this is the camera, the rear-facing camera in 108. This is where the microphone will be, and it's near, as you notice, near where the instructor podium is going to be, where they teach at. So then you have another one right here, and it catches everything, and right here, it catches everything in the middle of the room. And then finally, there's a front-facing camera right here. So basically, all the rooms are configured that way.
I do think it's important to state that the microphones are independent of whatever other AV treatment are in the room. So that's to say that these hanging microphones will only record for the system that was recently installed. It's not connected to anything that may be for the screens, for the projector, or anything of that nature. So again, you've got two independent AV systems in this particular classroom, as well as the other ones. So again, we're recording video and audio that's being stored onto the servers for the classrooms that does not capture any video that may be shown on screen or audio from the instructor's laptop, things of that nature. Obviously, as they project into the room, the ceiling microphones are going to pick those things up kind of inadvertently. So just wanted to be aware that, again, they're two separate systems that are working in this room as well.